Let's go ahead and make these clay pot irrigators. What you're going to need is a clay pot. You're going to plug the hole at the bottom. For that, you're going to need this thing called plumber's putty. This is a moldable clay-like substance that you make into a little ball and then you press at the bottom, both on the inside and on the outside, and that's how you seal the hole. You don't need a very large piece, just a tiny little piece will suffice. What I do is I go ahead and make it into this little ball, and then I flatten it out. And then I just press it onto the bottom. You want to make sure that the edges make really good contact with the clay pot because you do not want the water leaking out of it. You also need to fill up the bottom hole. So let's go ahead and do that the same way. Grab just a little piece of this plumber's putty, make it into a little ball, flatten it, and then press it around here. Make sure that they meet on the inside. And that's it. This one is done. Now you can fill up water immediately in this and start using it. I usually leave it for a day or so because I like to actually test if there is any leak. So I put it somewhere dry and then the next morning I come and I check whether there is any leak. You're going to bury this in the soil and then you're going to fill it up with water and you're going to cover it with any kind of plate that will fit the surface. You can actually get the saucers for these. I didn't do that. I'm just going to be using a regular little plastic plate. So the second type of Oya, you're actually going to be joining two of these together, one on top of the other. And so you want to get identical pots. When you purchase these in the store, make sure that you put them one on top of the other, just to make sure that they are properly made and that they sit together really, really tight. You're going to seal these middle edges together. What I use to seal them is super glue. I'm using this Gorilla Glue. This all-purpose bonds virtually everything. So this should do the job. I've seen other people use this successfully as well, so I know this is going to work. And the instructions say that you need to dampen one of the edges, put glue on the other edge, and then clamp them both together. And it should dry in a couple of hours, but again, I'm going to be leaving this overnight and we'll pick up this project again tomorrow. So let's go ahead and make the second irrigator. Got a damp cloth, so I'm going to moisten the edges just ever so slightly. Need to work fairly quickly with this glue because it does tend to set pretty fast. So make sure that the edges are clean. You need to put a thin layer. Then you're going to join these two together. Wipe this down a little bit here. Now they say you can use something heavy to clamp on top of it while you let it set. Okay, that's looking pretty good. This is the next morning and the color change indicates that we've got a nice strong seal.